All right, welcome to Tribulation Day 147. And the world continues to spiral down into chaos. Today, Saturday, October 8th, 2011, here in San Jose, California, we have a spectacular day. The sun is out, it's bright and cheery. It's the kind of day that'd make you almost forget that there's even a tribulation happening. But, as luck would have it, here in the Bay Area, there's a huge black hole in all of our hearts today. Oakland Raiders owner Al Davis has passed on. So my condolences to the Raider Nation and to the Raiders. You know, for some people, it might even be a good thing. A lot of Raider fans kind of felt that Al Davis was holding the franchise back the last decade or so, as they had, not been doing so good. But, that's two iconic figures, Steve Jobs and Al Davis, that have passed on in the last couple of days. And I do believe it's kind of a sign of the times and of the tribulation that is upon us. Around the world, got a lot of bad stuff happening. You know, the listeria outbreak with the cantaloupes appears to be still happening. And I'm almost beginning to wonder, because I ate a cantaloupe the other day, and I ate a cantaloupe, a week ago when I was up at my brother-in-law's house in Reno. In general, I love cantaloupes. So I just hope I don't come down with listeria. They say it takes 2 months for it to affect you. So who knows? But, around the world, pestilence, famine, flooding, earthquakes, several massive volcanoes that look like they're ready to blow. There's one up in Alaska on Mount Cleveland. There's El Hierro in the Canary Islands. There's one over in Iceland that all look like they're ready to blow. It doesn't really look too good. Extreme earth weather and changes appear to be happening still. Activity on the sun, huge solar flares, and of course the mysterious foreign objects possibly coming through our solar system. Economically, everybody's just holding their breath, knowing the inevitable is coming, a global economic collapse. I think I put an article on the blog. It said that China and a lot of other countries are now installing gold ATMs, because currency, whether it's the dollar or the yen or the euro dollar, currencies around the world seems to be on the verge of all tanking with the collapse of the banking system. Already most of the banks have been downgraded, here in the United States and in the Eurozone. But the article basically said, the new world currency might be gold, which, that in itself is kind of a sign of the times. But, I don't know that anybody's doing anything to stop the collapse. Printing more money, bailing out the banks, that's not solving anything. It's just creating more chaos. The Occupy Wall Street crowd, they may be an odd lot, But I kind of understand one thing, bailing out banks. No, everybody's had enough of that, especially when their own homes are being foreclosed upon and everybody's got credit card debt and student loans and debt they can't pay and nobody's helping them out. Job wise, you know, there's no jobs. With the death of Steve Jobs, I was on Facebook and I was arguing with this one guy because he kind of viewed Steve Jobs as an evil negative force. And I actually strongly disagree with that. I believe Steve Jobs was a good guy. But one of the things the guy was kind of pointing at was, oh, Steve Jobs, human rights, using slave labor. And you know what? That was probably the case. But, why are you focusing on just Steve Jobs? Because pretty much every corporation, every business in America has to end up using Chinese labor. I don't care what the heck it is you do or make. I was even thinking about making some t-shirts, and you go to t-shirt vendors and they'd be like, you're ultimately going to have to order your shirts from China. You can get them way cheaper. So in order to be competitive and to actually make money, you're going to go to wherever the labor is the cheapest. But, the CEOs, are they the ones to blame? Because I think everyone shares some blame. Even the general public. If we're buying stuff from China, then we're as much to blame as a CEO shipping their company over to China. The government's to blame. Bush is to blame. Obama is to blame. Because none of them have done anything about it. So it is what it is. And a global economic collapse is coming. Because when you abuse people, that's what it kind of leads to. In the Middle East, things look really bad. Gaddafy is still over there fighting. The news keeps kind of saying that they're in his hometown and they're getting close to snuffing him out, but I don't see it. And to me, the bigger problem is, Iran, who grows bolder every day. And, Mahmoud Ahmadinejad supposedly will soon be out of power, but to me, I think one way or the other, Iran may be making a move, especially with the United States basically saying they're going to withdraw all our forces and troops, and that's all based on economic reasons. Everybody's like, hey, we can't be spending billions around the world or over in Afghanistan when we're not spending any money on our infrastructure here in the United States. Well, the problem with all that is the world is a dangerous place. And just like in World War II, we can turn a blind eye and make pretend that Hitler and all these evil forces are not happening, but eventually we get sucked right back into it. And I'm telling you, America, we really can't afford to be the superpower and police of the world. Like we keep saying, maybe people should pay for it. Like when we helped out Iraq, why are we not collecting some of the oil revenues from over there? But the bottom line is, if the world doesn't have a good cop, which is America protecting it, it's only a matter of time before the world is, susceptible and fall into evil forces. And to me, one of the biggest evil forces out there is Syria and their president Assad. It's just horrific what's going on over there. His government has troops going from town to town massacring people. And nobody's doing anything about it. And, just recently he basically said if NATO or the United States or the UN or anybody dares stick their nose into what I'm doing, I will fire missiles at Israel so fast it'll make your head spin. The whole Palestinian thing is just sitting out there. The UN, who knows what they're going to do. But I bet you whatever they do, they'll vote and it won't be good for Israel. So dark days are ahead of us, even on a beautiful day like today. It's nothing but dark clouds on the horizon. So, I don't know, me, I'm looking for signs. If you go over to Operation End Times, I got some stuff I loaded over there. You can check it out. But, the chaos is spreading. You know, the occupation of Wall Street, you know, those guys are kind of on to something. You know, despite the fact that they look very chaotic, you know, there's a common thread. The system is broken. It can't be fixed. More and more people are going to be joining the movement. Fighting for a reason, fighting for a season, fighting for everything, fighting for nothing. Alright, think positive, be a force for positive. God bless everybody out there. Get your tribulation on.